Expeditions are one of the best mechanics in Path of Exile 2, but if you're not running them right, you're missing out on massive loot. In this guide, we're going to cover what expeditions are, how to get and use logbooks, and whether or not you should sell them or run them for insane profits. So let's dive in. Number 1, what is an expedition? An expedition is an endgame mechanic where you uncover ancient artifacts. They're one of the 4 activities that players can encounter during the endgame, and how you participate is by finding an atlas node with a white icon and a 6-pronged star. Within that map, you're going to meet an expedition NPC where you can start the endgame encounter. You'll receive explosives to plant around the excavation site, where these explosives will go off and dig up buried chests and enemies that you'll be forced to defeat to receive the currencies. Expedition rewards can basically be anything from artifacts to powerful currencies, other waystones, endgame gear, and specifically what we're after, logbooks. Alright, so we're going to briefly go over how to even do an expedition. So not let alone the expedition logbook, but the expedition in general. We're going to go over that very quickly. So when you unlock an expedition map, you're going to find a section of the map that has a bunch of little portals like this, an NPC, and then a detonator. You're going to go talk to the NPC. For example, mine's Gwennon. All of them have different things, and once you complete the expedition with that NPC, you can actually then put them in your hideout to utilize the artifacts that you find from the map and things like that to get loot. So briefly, what we're going to do is you're going to be given 5 explosives. Now these have a specific range, so you can't go outside of a range. So you're going to basically start this within the circle of the detonator, and you want to basically get as many modifiers as you can handle. So example, like I'm going to be dodging this chaos damage and immune to cold because I do a lot of cold damage, and I don't have a lot of chaos res. As you can see, I have 38%, so I don't want to die. And I'm on a hardcore solo self-found, so I'm not going to be able to handle as many modifiers as a standard league. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look to go this way. So this is like monsters have 40% increased maximum life. I can handle that because I'm already doing a lot of damage. This is only a tier 4 map, so we're going to go ahead and grab that because that increases the rarity of the items, as you can see as well. So now every mob that spawns after this one blows up, this first one, will have the 15% increased rarity of items dropped, as well as the 40% increased maximum life. All right, so all mine are placed. Now we're going to detonate the explosives. All right, so you're gonna basically clear out all of the mobs, and once you clear out the mobs, they're gonna drop things such as the Broken Circle artifact or other artifacts depending on which expedition you're doing. And also, you're gonna be going after these excavated chests, and you can see them on the screen. The excavated chests are what the logbooks are going to drop from. These logbooks are going to be basically the key to getting mass amount of loots within expedition maps. Baby, 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 baby. Which leads us to number 2. What are expedition logbooks and how do we use them? So, what are expedition logbooks? Logbooks are items used to enter the logbook expedition. They are dropped by runic monsters and excavated chests within the expedition maps and come with different levels and logbook expedition modifiers. For example, to unlock the boss Olroth, you actually have to have a logbook a level of 79, which some can be done at level 78. But level 79 is where you will start getting around a 20% chance to encounter the boss Olroth, which drops many different uniques, which we won't get into in this guide. Now that we have a logbook, we're going to talk to Danning here and give it to him, which is going to unlock the expedition logbook map. But first, I'm going to throw on the screen something that can help get you more logbooks, get you more maps with expeditions. And this is a precursor tablet, which we won't dive into too much because that is a whole different thing that we will get into in a different video. But for now, just know that precursors can in fact help your logbook drops as well as getting more expedition maps. So diving right into the expedition. All right, now that we're inside the logbook map, let's break down how it works. Just like regular expeditions, we're going to be placing explosives to uncover buried chests, monsters, and remnants. But in logbooks, the stakes are much higher. There's bigger rewards, tougher enemies, and special faction bosses such as Olroth, which, like I said before, you have to get to a logbook of level 79 to even get a chance at finding him within the map. Before placing any explosives, make sure you check the remnants. I am on a hardcore solo self-found, so I will be taking a little bit extra time because I'm not trying to die. These modifiers do in fact stack, so that means if multiple remnants with the same explosion path their effects will apply directly to the next one that's detonated afterwards. So prioritize the ones that boost pack size, item quality, and increase artifact drops, but be cautious when doing that because you want to avoid ones such as increased chaos damage or immune to damage. Real quick, I just want to show a zoom in of the map so you can get an idea of just how big this is. It does take a few minutes to go through all of your different options to plan your route. And again, you want to look for Olroth if you're on level 79 logbooks or higher. Hopefully by the time you get to those though, you have a better idea of how the logbooks work. Once you've placed all your dynamite, I'm going to speed this up just for time's sake, but you're going to explode it. You're going to follow the path that you created to start killing all of the mobs. I actually did get a cave on this one, so you're going to see that in a few minutes or a few seconds. But we're just going to go ahead and clear all the mobs to the best of our ability. And again, I didn't make it super tough just because I don't want to get one shot. I've seen a lot of hardcores get one shot. I wasn't looking to do that today. So for those reasons and not for content, decided not to die. But you can see I kind of make it work. You can see I'm getting some decent loot here, getting a lot of artifact drops. And we did, again, unlock the cave. So we're going to go dive right into that. This is what the Expedition Cave looks like. Again, there's just more mobs inside of there. There's chances for excavated chests. There's chance for other drops. And it just basically adds a little bit of another layer to the map itself, which is pretty cool. Now that we've gathered a bunch of loot and artifacts, let's go to number 3. How can I profit? So there's a couple ways to profit off of doing the Expedition logbooks. For standard players, the biggest way to make currency is to sell the logbooks on the auction house, which I will link down below. You can also run the logbooks and get the chance to get Olroth if you're on level 79 for awesome loot. Like I said, there's some uniques that he will drop, which we will not get into this video, that are upwards towards 20, 30 divine. But for solo self-found hardcore players like myself, what we gain out of this is actually getting to use the currency or artifacts that is dropped in the different shops that will then be in your hideout. So you can see on screen how I am basically rolling on some gloves because my gloves are not very good and I'm looking to create some better gloves without having to use up all of my actual currency on rolls, which is a huge advantage in this game, especially in the end game when you kind of run out of currency a lot of times. That's going to about wrap it up for our logbook expedition guide. And what we went over in this guide are 3 simple things. What expeditions are, what are expedition logbooks and how do we use them, and how can we profit from the expedition logbooks. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far, like and subscribe as it does help the channel out a ton. If you would like to see more in depth with this, whether going over Olroth, how to do these things in hardcore solo self-founds, leave a comment below. And like always, we'll see you in the next one.